I would have to be probably the last person here to talk about Black Panther. But Marvel's Black Panther delivered on everything and more. Hey, I'm Brian. Thank you for coming back to the channel. I was really impressed. And to be honest with you, Ryan Coogler's film Creed, Fruitvale Station, I mean, the guy is a great director. And considering that this is, what, only his third film? Not that, where do you go from here? It was an amazing, monumental achievement. And I just want to really just reach out and say, my God, thank you so much for actually, doing this. What I did like about Black Panther, I really liked a lot of the scenes that weren't action scenes. And that doesn't happen often in these sort of films. But I felt that he is such a powerful director when it comes to bringing something out of the actors. I absolutely loved every single sort of side character. I loved Okoye, Baku. I actually thought Wakabi's turn, I thought he was very good. I was very impressed with that. Everybody loves Shuri, and I am part of that fan base as well. I thought she was absolutely dope as the Panther's younger sister. She was fantastic. She was this beautiful juxtaposition of not just being, what they call the smartest person in the MCU, but she was sort of trying to move away. She understood tradition, but didn't necessarily want to adhere to it anymore. So I really liked her character. I loved, Okoye. I think everybody does. She was absolutely fantastic in this film. Michael B. Jordan's turn as Killmonger was by far, really one of the best turns for an actual villain in a film. And I think I'm going to try to stay away from a lot of the controversial aspects of what it is. I'm going to discuss it, yes, as a black man growing up and reading comics, and yes, Black Panther was one of the first sort of black characters I was reading. You had, back when I was reading comics, I'm going to show my age here, but I was reading comics back in the 70s, and back then, man, you really didn't have a lot of choice. You really had Black Panther, you had the Falcon, there were for a few others, John Stewart over in DC, but there generally weren't a lot, Black Goliath came later. I think he's going to probably show up. I think is it Lawrence Fishburne? Is he going to be playing? Yeah, he's playing Bill Foster in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, hey, man, it could be another one. There weren't a lot of black characters. A lot of the books that I read just didn't have them, especially in the Avengers. T'Challa was the only African-American Avenger that came up. Falcon joined later for a little while, but that whole turn was really cool. So there isn't a lot of African-American sort of representation in the earlier books, and when people were trying to put them in books, a lot of times it didn't quite work out, but I felt that this film really flipped the whole sort of cinematic universe narrative on its head by focusing on what everyone says is probably one of the other things. Wakanda plays another character in the film. I really enjoyed this, and I really enjoyed the concept of the hidden colony, and I enjoyed the concept of T'Challa having to deal with whether or not maybe they should have done something, and Killmonger brings this in to the equation of what is Wakanda's place in this fictionalized world, because Wakanda is not real, we know it, but if it was, there's some really sort of powerful questions that could be asked about what exactly are their motivations, why are they not sort of becoming involved. So I thought for the first time in a long time that, yeah, man, I was really not necessarily rooting for the villain, but he hit in a spot that I thought was absolutely not just I'm bad because I'm bad, but this was a guy who had become so embittered and so life didn't mean anything to him. He, by all the kills that he had, life really didn't have any meaning at all. So while he was a bit of an absolute maniac, there was a bit of pain and torture and hurt behind what he had that actually resonates quite. It was a difficult job to go, and I commend Ryan Coogler for doing that, man. I thought he really did play both sides of that narrative quite well. And I don't want to get involved on whether or not there is all this sort of black and anti-black sort of stuff, because to be honest with you, I really enjoyed the film, and I'm happy for the conversation, but I'm not happy with where a lot of it went. Wakanda forever. I thought the costumes were great. That whole Afro-future look of this sort of society was just amazing. I loved, and yes, the action scenes were dope, man. You know, T'Challa chasing him down, you know, a James Bond style, the whole casino thing, you know, chasing down cars and all that. I really, really liked that. I actually liked the final battle between T'Challa and Killmonger. Some of the special effects, yeah, I would admit that some of the special effects probably needed a little bit more sort of there, but to be honest with you, all that aside, the special effects don't make the movie. What makes the movie is the narrative and why these guys are fighting, and that was a very, very, very powerful sort of ending. You know, I'm not going to get into spoilers and all that, but, you know, God, the ending of the film with Killmonger and T'Challa, where they, after the battle, you know the scene I'm talking about, that still gives me chills to this day. So yeah, that is a definite buying on Blu-ray, watching multiple times. I really, really, really enjoyed Black Panther. So let's just say I really enjoyed Black Panther. Looking forward to... I guess my cat enjoyed it as well. I really enjoyed Black Panther. I hope you guys did too. The first end credit scene I thought was absolutely brilliant about how we need to start, you know, building bridges and not walls. I thought that was a very poignant sort of message. And that means a lot to what I'm saying about the conversations that were had about the film and how it impacted and how it actually sort of resonated around the world, how it sort of brought the conversation of race relations up. Is it going to change everything overnight? Absolutely not. But I do believe that it's a good place to start, because at least it does start to invite people to talk about things that maybe they're not comfortable talking about. So in that respect, it's a good thing. So I thought that was really dope to bring that in for that very first end credit scene. The last end credit scene, and you guys tell me what you think as well, you know, I thought that the whole concept of, you know, Bucky being sort of, you know, cleansed of all the sort of hypno sort of things that Hydra had been putting into him over the years in his mind, and he's sort of smiling and he actually looks like he's himself for the first time in a long time. I think that was absolutely brilliant. Guys, don't take this out of context, but is there something going on between Shuri and Bucky? Does she actually like Bucky? You know, is this going to play out in Infinity War as well, where we suddenly start to see this sort of thing? I'm interested to hear what you guys think. The two characters that are in the film that were basically of the non-African or African-American or whatever you want to call it, persuasion, were Andy Serkis as Ulysses Klaue, who I felt his little cameo in Avengers Age of Ultron, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I know who he is, and Wakanda, yeah. So when he loses his arm, and you go, okay, yeah, dope. They brought in his arm with the Sonics in it, etc., etc. And to be honest with you, that was so much fun. His character was it was so much fun just to see him. It's really enjoying that whole sort of like villain side of things. I know he's dead, but I think if you've read the comics, or if you're a comic head like me, you know that there's a way for Klaue to come back that would be really dope. And I would hopefully see him again. He would be a fantastic, if he returned to the MCU, I would absolutely love that. Martin Freeman's character, although we got a little taste of him in Civil War, they gave him a little bit more to do here. And to be honest with you, I liked his character in this too. It was very interesting to see him, you know, it was very interesting as a lot of people have pointed out that in most films you have an all-white cast with one black person. In this film, it's the absolute reverse. So it was very interesting to see that dynamic play out. And his character, although he does have a minor part in the film, does have a big impact in the story. So I, for one, liked it. I liked the turn that his character had to take from being this arrogant know-it-all to, you know, maybe, yeah, he underestimated T'Challa, he underestimated Wakanda and its people, and really, you know, might be an advocate for that sort of change. Because that's what it takes. It takes people to sit down and really, you know, put aside whatever prejudices they may have or concepts and just be able to have an open and honest conversation about things. So for me, I thought this film deserves every amount of credit that it's getting, and I really, really, really cannot be any happier with how they've brought this character to life. Black Panther, what did you think? I loved the film. I thought it was great. I think it's fantastic leading up to Avengers Infinity War, because out of all the trailers we've seen, it looks like the major big blowout in the third act of this movie is probably going to take place in Wakanda. What do you guys think? Are they going to wipe out some of the characters that we've only just met in Black Panther? Don't kill his mom. Angela Bassett is fine. Don't be trying to kill Angela Bassett, damn it. You know, don't kill Okoye. You know, Shuri, no! Forrest Whitaker, Sterling K. Brown, the whole concept of Black Panther and his father and that whole thing. On a very personal sort of note, I lost my father last year, and the concept of T'Challa taking the herbs and going and being able to enter this sort of, you know, realm when he's able to sort of still speak to him, speak to his father and discuss being a king and how he necessarily maybe doesn't agree with what he's done, I thought was so powerful and so touching. And it's a real, you know, testament to that. Whereas Killmonger goes in and he has a totally different sort of version. He has a different side of things. I really thought that that was dope. Forrest Whitaker, I thought was fantastic again. Was he just playing Saw Gerrera? Some people, I've heard some people say from like Rogue One a little bit, you know. They sent you to kill me. No. But I love, man, Forrest in anything, man. I'm gonna watch the brother, man. So, once again, Black Panther. Who are some of your favorite characters? What did you like? What did you dislike? Did you not like the film? Did you not think that it made a statement? Let me know in the comments what you think below. And until next time, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. I'm Brian. Peace out, everybody. Be good to each other.